Okay, guys. So the past couple of days, I've been dealing with this Omicron variant. I'm feeling 1,000 times better today. Thank you, vaccine and being boosted, because like all the scientists and doctors said, if you got hit with this thing, it would hit you pretty good, but it wouldn't be so bad. And the whole main goal of the vaccinations and the boosting is to keep the hospital system from being overwhelmed. That is the point of the vaccine. It is not a cure. It is basically a band-aid to keep you from dying. So I had COVID, the alpha variant, back when the original wave hit. I guess you would call it the second wave, although it's not really the second wave. It's all of 2020 was a wave, according to some scientists. Back in July of 2020, and I was sick for like 21 days. I kept having the symptoms. I kept having fatigue, all this other kind of stuff. I went to the emergency room twice, $12,000 in medical bills, but Blue Cross and Blue Shield, it was a 60-40 split. So I was on the hook for $4,000 of the bills while I'm out of work for 9 months. So I thought I was going to die back then. The second time I went to the ER, I actually had written a letter the night before to my wife in case when I went in, they, threw me in, admitted me, and put a hose and put me on life support. I didn't know what was going to happen, but the thing is, you don't want to go to the hospital because you don't know how bad it's going to get. I try to avoid hospitals like the plague. So all that went down. So as soon as the vaccines were available, I had the Pfizer, and then 4 weeks later, I had the second vaccine from Pfizer, and then 6 months later, on November 24th of last year, I had the booster shot. So I was well prepared going into this Omicron wave, as I saw it picking up steam in South Africa and all that other kind, knowing it was coming, knowing it was hitting the United States. And it literally has blown up. But because of the vaccine, unlike last time where I was sick for 21 days, 2 trips to the ER, thousands in medical bills, this time, 2 days, body aches. I think that was the thing that sucked the most, was the body aches. Just feeling I still feel a little achy, okay, because it's only like the third day. The first 2 days it just hit me like a wave. I didn't have any fever. I had a massive head congestion and the body aches. I think that's been the worst part about it, is the body aches. So I'm extremely pleased, because one of the things that I never wanted to go through again, and I've said this to many people, is what I went through the first time, where I thought I was going to die. Somebody was standing on my chest. My lungs were inflamed. It was horrible. It was the worst sickness I think I've ever had in my entire adult life, was COVID the first time. So I'm very pleased with the science. I'm very pleased that everything went exactly the way the doctors were going to say, and the scientists have said. I implore people to get vaccinated and to get boosted. If you're not, and I get it, that's fine. That's whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to believe, you believe. I'm choosing, after going through what I just went through again for the second time and seeing how awesome it was to get through it the way I did. I did take, and I'm not giving medical advice, but I did take Dayquil, Robitussin, anytime I couldn't, needed to break up what was going on. Acetaminophen for a headache, because I did have a headache, and ibuprofen for the body aches. And that's what I did. And so far, it looks like I'm coming out of it. I got it at work. We had a small, I would say, outbreak at work. Multiple people falling out in the course of a week. And it just happened that it hit me. On the movie that I'm working on, we're doing COVID tests 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the PCR tests. And I did mine Friday morning of last week, and I was fine. And then about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, after I did my COVID test first thing in the morning, I started feeling a little funky in here and thought maybe it was my sinuses. So they allow us to do rapid tests at work as an extra precaution, which I think is great. I'll tell you, the one thing that's been amazing about working in the film industry since the industry came back after the big break from 2020, is the amount of testing that we are doing on the films to catch this stuff ahead of time. And it's a pain in the ass. Nobody likes to do it up the nose. No, I mean, it's a pain in the ass. And it takes a lot of the fun out of movie making and being on set and all that other kind of stuff. It's just not the same environment as it was back in 2019, but we're in a pandemic, so what the hell. But the amount of testing that they've been doing has been fantastic. And the fact that this particular show, the producers were letting us rapid test if we wanted to, we don't pay for any of these tests. So I walked up and I said, I want to get a rapid test. The rapid test came back negative at 2:00 in the afternoon. So as the day progressed and I got home from work, when I got home and I finally got into the house, starting to take off all my gear, that's when it like hit me and I was like, oh, this sucks, something's up. And throughout the course of the night, tossing and turning, body aching, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Wake up. First thing in the morning, I just told the wife, I said, everyone stay away from me. I'm not feeling good. This is terrible. I don't know what's going on. And then I checked my email, and at 5:54 a.m., I got an email from my PCR test that was taken that Friday morning, and it had me positive for COVID. Talked to the COVID team, who they were on top of it. Talked to producers, and they did the contact tracing, and I'm sitting it out for 7 days, or until all my symptoms are gone. Then I'll get retested and see if I can return to work on this movie. So I'm very, very grateful to the producers and to the COVID staff for their due diligence with this. I can't thank science enough. They scienced the shit out of this. Thank the Trump administration for getting Warp Speed going and dropping that initial $52 billion and getting these vaccines up and going. I just wish the message would have been sold better on his end to his people so we could get more people vaccinated. But anyway, that's what I went through, and there you go. So those body aches, head congestion, a slight headache, and it came in waves. So for the 2 days that I was sick, the 2 first days, today's the 3rd day, and I'm still got body aches, but I'm getting better, and my sinuses are getting better. But the first 2 days, I would feel really good, and I'd tell people, yeah, no, I'm not feeling so bad. Then all of a sudden, boom, it would hit me in a wave. And then I'd be like, oh, I'm rolling over and going to bed, and stuff like that. So it's like 2 days. For me, it was 2 days of just crap. And 3rd day, I feel like I'm coming out of it. So this is way better than what happened when we didn't have a vaccine. So, and I don't think anyone's going to change my mind.